I'm Baron, but my mom calls me Bear, which I kind of like because I love animals and I love nature. That's why I decided to start this drawing program. Today we're going to draw a painted bunting, and it's a beautiful colored songbird that lives in South Central United States. It loves brushy, fallen tree, just kind of a woodland area. It's actually called a woodland bird. So it looks for insects and seeds on the ground, and it has a sweet and musical song. And I'll play the most known song. So that's the painted bunting. And today we're going to draw the male, which is the colorful one. The females are normally olive green with a yellow belly, but today we're going to draw the male because it really looks like, it almost looks like it's a rainbow, like a rainbow bird. And so, let's get started. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, keep going.
So, I'm going to start like this with just a small curve up. Then we're going to curve down like this for the head. Looks like a little mini rainbow shape. And then this one is, we're going to bring it down a little more, like that. And then it's going to come out and down like this. And at the end, we're going to do a little rounded tip like that. Now we're going to come out even more, like this. Do another little bump down like we just did up here. And then come out for the tail. Now if you ever go too fast, you can always pause the video. So down at the tip of the tail, we're going to round it and come back in like this. And this one we're going to come a little up and connect. We're going to start here where this little part comes in, and we're going to connect it to that, like that. So you're kind of starting to see the general shape of it. Now we're going to go like this. We're going to start up here at the head. We're going to go out. We're going to go down. Go around like this. So it's just a point and then a little curve around like that. And we're going to do another curve the other way. Like this. Like this. So I came out here and I'm going to go in, down, and then back into that first line. So for the little start, we're going to start at the point, like this, go down. Now we're going to start down here and go like this, come down and around. They kind of have big bellies. They're kind of a little chunky, so don't be disappointed if yours is a little big around the belly, because that's really how they are. So back here it's going to come up, and then another curve, and then finish that over here like this. Okay, so we got the general shape. Now we're going to come up here for the eye, and we're going to do a little circle like that. And then a smaller circle inside of it. You can't really see that on the camera, but it's okay if you just do one circle. And then you're going to do another circle inside for a little highlight like that. And then down here, we're gonna do the wings. We're gonna start here, and we're gonna come out like this, and down. So I came out, and then a curve down, and then we're gonna start here where we did right here, and we're gonna do a big curved line and connect it to that right there. So now we're going to come here to this one that we did. We're going to bring that one out. And then this one's going to do some bumps. Just a little bump. And then just keep going with those little bumps until you get to the bottom of the wing like that. Now we're going to come back up here, go like this, do a line up, and then we're going to do a bump and then a bump. So little bumps right there. And then this, you can do kind of a very short zigzaggy line that connects up, or just a straight line. Now we're going to keep going with that zigzaggy line this way. Just go like this, like that. And then we're going to start down here. We're going to do out like this, and then a curve, a curve, and a curve. And then we're going to connect those like this. Like that. See those? Like that. Okay, so now we're going to come here and we're going to finish this line, but it's going to go over here and it's going to curve into a point. You see this here? Okay, now these are going to keep going in. These lines, these curves on the bumps, we're going to go in and in and in. So now over here, I'm going to go like this. So we're going to do lines that they come out and then they curve. So I'll show you. Start with one. I'm going to go way out here and then do a curve at the end. Comes out and then curves around. Comes out. And one more curve around. Now you can do however many you need to fit in there. So now we're going to go down here to the tail. Let me see if I can, there we go. I'm going to come out and then back in like a little V shape. And then we're going to do a little zigzaggy line. That same shape, back and in, back and in. I'll make those a little darker so the camera can see them. You see those? And now we're going to come down here for the legs. Going to do a little line down. Try to make it small down there. And then another little line kind of curved. And then do a zigzaggy line to connect them. And then we're going to start right there. We're going to do a line down. And then another line down right next to it. So 2 lines down out of that little thing, the little zigzaggy bump that we did. And it's going to go like this. We're going to do a bump. And then start back in here and do another bump. And then make that come down a little more. And then do one more bump like that. Now we're going to come back here to the other part of the leg right here. We're going to come out. And we're going to come around like this. You see that? Just a few curves down and then that connects to that. It's pretty simple. Or you can just do a big curve and connect into the branch if you don't want to do all those little toe lines. So now we're going to come over here. This one, you can't really see the other part because it's up here. So we're just going to do 2 lines out, like that. Now we're going to do a curve, and just the same thing we did over here. Another one, and then this one's going to come out, and then that one is going to go in. Just like that. Now we're going to do a little branch. We're going to start here. We're going to come down. Imagine it going through the foot and come out the other side. And then just do a little zigzaggy line down there. Come back up. And then imagine it going through. And then imagining both sides going through. And then connect them with a zigzaggy line on top. Okay, so we have the normal shape, the main shape of our bird. We're going to come in here and do a few more feather lines. So we're going to do the same thing we did here where we came out and then curved in. But first we're going to do a line like this. To divide, there's going to be two parts, an upper part and a lower part. So the lower part is just going to have a bunch of straight lines like this, all in there. And then like this, we're going to go out, like that. It comes out, then it curves, out, and curve, curve, like that. So we kind of did the same thing we did down here. And then we're going to come back down here to the tail and do the same thing we did here with just lines out, and out, and out, like that. This one has a lot of feather lines, but they'll look really pretty when we're done. So now we're going to divide the colors. So we're going to start up here at the beak, this little point we made, and we're going to come out like this. Can you see that? I'm going to come out like that, then we're going to curve around like this, and then curve in back into the wing. And now we're going to do the little feather lines. So we're going to start here at the beak, and we're going to go in. This will look a lot different when it's all shaded at the end. And then we're going to imagine it going through the eye and coming around. And then it's going to go here, like that, just a curve around. And then we're going to continue that curve through the neck. Just like that. And those are little feather lines. The feathers are going to be out here like this, and then that's going to be a little darker. And then this is going to go over here like this. So that's the main shape of your bird. And now you can use whatever you need to color. I'm using oil pastels, but you can use colored pencils, markers, pastels, anything you want. So I'm gonna get a dark blue, like this color. I'm gonna come up here, go like this. And we're just going to kind of shade, just a little, kind of outline what the blue is going to be. Just outline this little section like this with our blue. You see that? So we're just going to outline all that. So inside that little shape is all going to be blue. And then we're going to get a light yellow, like this color. And we're going to outline this little part. It's going to go out. And then we're going to follow that line. And it's going to be like this. So I'm just showing you the general shape of how the colors are going to be. So that's all the yellow. And some of the colors are going to kind of be faded in, like there's going to be a greenish, so like, let me find a good one here. Like this, there's like this olive green here. It's like a lightish dark green, kind of in the middle. And that's gonna be this part right here. I'm just gonna outline that little shape. And now we're gonna get, you can get like a dark pink or a magenta. I like to use this color. You can see that okay? It's like a pinkish red. And then we're gonna outline this little part like this. That's gonna be that color. And then there's also a really bright red. We're gonna get the bright red. Let me get this paper off here. There we go. Okay, so we're going to start up here. So with the belly shape, it's going to be kind of red and orange together. So we're going to start with a little red down here, kind of lightly shade red. Actually, right now we're just going to shade red all over the big belly shape. And the little leg, well, the little leg parts too, yeah. We're gonna shade that like this. See, just shade this big belly shape with the red. And then we're gonna go back over with this orange. And we're going, it looks kind of yellow with the camera, but it's a dark orange. We're gonna go back over like this. And you're gonna kind of see it all fade together, like this. Like this. And it just makes a reddish orange pattern all over. So it's really pretty. The things you can do, you can still do this with pencils, but it's easier with pastels. If you have them, I would recommend using them, but if you don't, colored pencils would work just as good. So, and just fade all of that red with that orange. Okay, you see it makes that reddish orange color all over. It's really pretty. So we're gonna go back with our red and we're gonna start at that line we made right there. And we're gonna do dark up here. And then it's gonna kind of fade down. So you can get maybe a little bit, a smidgen of brown just up in there, just dark. And then get your red and smooth it out like that. You don't have to do that part. I just did that to make it darker. And then you're gonna get some white and go back through and do a little highlight under that line to make it a little lighter. You see that this little white highlight under there, like that. Like this, hang on a second. Okay, now we're gonna go back with that olive green we had. Let me find it again. Here it is. I'm gonna go back with the olive green. We're going to do we're just gonna fill that shape in that we used the green. And then we're gonna go back with a dark brown or black and just do little lines. I'd recommend just using a dark brown and do those lines in. And then we're gonna get our yellow again and go around this yellow shape. But we're not gonna do this part quite yet. Leave a little stripe at the bottom, like this. So then we're gonna use our green and shade a small bit in that little stripe. And then we're gonna go back over with the yellow, and it makes a yellowish green stripe down there. So that works pretty well. Then we're going to go back with our magenta, the dark pink, and we're going to fill in this space. See all the beautiful colors in this. It's so pretty. And then we're going to get dark and go dark up at that corner like this. See that? See that? And then we can go back with this pink and fade it all together. So you can, if you want to shade, you go over with one color and then you go over with another color and then you go back over with the first color and just it blends it all in. So now we're going to get our blue. We're going to do a light layer all over, even this little part in here. So just do a light layer of blue, as light as you can do it. Go around the eye. Like this. You can just shade over a little bit. And then we're going to go with a little bit of, you're going to get a even darker blue. So I was using this blue before and now I'm using this blue. So we're going to go like this and we're going to trace over that other line we did. We're going to go around and down. That dark. You see that? Around from the eye and down. Then we're going to finish it on the other side of the eye to the beak. And we're going to shade around the beak area like that, and then shade kind of in around that circle part. Okay, you see that? So now we're going to go back over with the lighter blue. Where'd it go? Here it is. We're going to go back over with this and fade it all. Just try not to get it in your yellow or it'll make it green. So we're going to just blend all that in just like that. And then you can go back over with that dark brown and define that line and do some shading in there. See all that? And then down here, we're going to start at this little point, the neck area, and we're going to do a little zigzaggy line down. And this is all with the dark brown. Okay. So we're going to get kind of a lightish brown. It's kind of like a copper color. We're going to come down here and just do a light layer on the foot like that. Like this. And then we're going to go back over with the dark brown that we've been using. So just go back over like that. And then same thing with this foot. Okay, do you see that? We just went over with light brown and then went back over with a dark brown. So now we're going to get your white again, and we're just going to do little stripes down the legs for shiny. Just like that, and it makes a pretty reflection. So, what did we not do yet? Let's see. Okay, so we're going to get a lighter red. It's like a pinky red. Like a light pink, light red mix of both. So we're going to come like this, and we're not going to do the whole thing. We're going to do the bottom part of that stripe, the bottom part of this one, see that? So just don't do all of it, but a little stripe of each. And then we're going to go get our orange again. And we're going to go under that stripe underneath. We're going to color that orange. So, and then now we're going to get a yellow. So this part, stay inside that line. But we're going to start with a yellow, and then we're going to kind of get light right there, and then fade into white. And then we're going to get the orange and start over here and come back and just fade into the yellow. So we just kind of fade them together, and you can go back in the middle with the yellow like that, just like that. Okay. And now we're going to go back in those little stripes that we didn't finish with a dark, almost like maybe a black, and finish just those little tiny spots with this black. Just like that. Okay, so we're getting closer to being done. And you can go over with your white and just kind of define the edges if you need to. Okay, so with the beak I like to use, let me get it really quick. So I like to use a brush tip pen or just any type of pen. So we're going to go up here and we're just going to do a stripe at the top of the beak, like that. If you have a pen, or you can just go over with a gray pastel or whatever you're using to color. So now we're going to do another stripe for the middle part. And then we're going to make that a little bit thicker as it gets to the back. And now we're going to go to the bottom and do a little bit like this. Okay, and then the beak is done. Okay, so now we're going to get like a gray. Let me find a good gray. We're going to get a gray. Don't go past that line. We're going to leave this little part right here. So we're going to go out like this. And we're just going to color all this solid gray for now. Okay, so now we're going to get our white and we're going to highlight those little lines that we did back here. It's okay if it doesn't show up very well because you'll be able to do that. You'll be able to see it anyway. So, and now we're going to get some white and do a little stripe with it like this, and it just adds some shiny to it. So down here for the tail, we're going to get that dark pink again that we used up here, and we're going to shade just a very, very light bit on that little part of the tail. So, and now we're going to get the orange and go over that pink with the orange. Just like that. And now out here for the tail, we're going to start with that same thing. Just shade a little of the magenta, a little dark pink, and then the orange, and go out with the orange. And then we're going to get that gray again that we used and do all the other spaces. Just like that. Okay, and we're pretty much done with this, except for this little patch. So this patch is going to be dark green. So we're going to get a dark green and start down there and just fill up that little space right there. And then we can go through with dark brown, like this. Now we're going to do the branch. So the branch is going to be, well, really whatever color you want. But I'm going to do it, I'm going to start by shading a little bit with this olive green. Just a very light layer, just like we did the other light layers everywhere else. And now we're going to go through with our yellow and smooth all of this out like this. Like that, and it makes a yellowish green branch. And that's actually kind of the color that the females are. They're that olive green all over and then a yellow belly. So, okay, there's your painted bunting. And then if you still have some white patches, you can go through and fill them, like white patches that are in the blue or in the red or in the little pieces of color. And I almost forgot the eye. So the eye, I'm going to get another brush tip pen. I'm going to start with it. And then get a red one and do that little circle around the eye. And then I'm going to get that black one again. Where's my black one? Here. And then do the inside. Just like that. And you can leave that little white dot in the middle. Well, there's your painted bunting. See you in the next episode.